Good evening, folks, and welcome to this week's episode of Beer Rating with Sean Connors. The beer I have today is a Quebec beer. It's Oktoberfest, and it's from a brewery out of Quebec, the province of Quebec in Canada. And the name of the brewery, I'm going to try it. It's a French name, Les Trois Mousquetaires. Basically, the Three Musketeers. I know my French is horrible, and the few people on the page that speak French are probably going, what the hell is he saying? But it's basically, the English translation is the Three Musketeers. So it's a Quebec brewery. They've been around since 2004. This is what they call a strong beer. It's rated at 6% alcohol. And it's got the cork, which doesn't want to come out. Holy jumpers, this is really in there. I've yet to find a beer that I couldn't get the top off, but that's probably the hardest. Okay, so I'm going to pour it out and see what we got here. Actual name of this is Oktoberfest Copper Lager. So obviously it's a lager and it's copper, as you can see from the color. As I said, it's a strong beer. It's 6% alcohol. It's actually listed right on the bottle, strong beer. The back label is kind of interesting because they give a lot of things that you normally don't see. They tell you, a little bit about the malt, the hops. They even have pairing for it, the flavor, original gravity, alcohol content, a whole bunch of stuff. So if you ever pick it up, just have a look at the back of it. Alright, a little bit about the brewery. As I said, it's been around since 2004 out of Quebec. They have about 15 beers. They actually break it up into different series. I don't really understand that too much, but if you have a look at the website, you might be able to figure it out. It's obviously it's Oktoberfest, so it's a beer that they brew to celebrate Oktoberfest. And the flavor, they say, is fresh grains, herbal, barley sugar. And they also say what this pairs well with. So they say it's a German beer. So they say German sausage, sauerkraut, and pretzels. So I guess to be expected. So I had a little bit of head when I poured it up. It's definitely copper. Not a bad aroma. It's interesting. I've never had an Oktoberfest beer. We'll talk about that in a second. Normally, when they say strong beer above 6%, you normally get that alcohol flavor. I'm not getting that, which is what I like. Wow, I'm actually kind of impressed. A lot of strong beers, you get a really strong alcohol flavor and quite a bit of aftertaste. I'm not getting that there at all. It's actually one of those beers. I think I could manage more than one, and even with the 750 mils. Wow! I must say I'm pleasantly surprised. The strong beers, a lot of times, like I said, it's just a little bit too strong for me. All right, so we talked a little bit about the beer and the brew itself. And if you're like me, one of your first questions when you look at it, you go, okay. Oktoberfest, I obviously heard of Oktoberfest before. However, Oktoberfest beer is fairly new to me. The first time I had one. So my question would be, okay, what's an Oktoberfest beer? So I did a little bit of research. And obviously it's a style of beer for Oktoberfest, the original Oktoberfest, the main Oktoberfest in Munich. Cities all around the world, North America included, they have their own little Oktoberfest. But the original, the true Oktoberfest is in Munich. So it's a style of beer that's brewed specifically for that. And the style of beer that they use is what they call a Bavarian Marzen, which is normally a copper red. It's full-bodied, maltiness, a little bit spicy, which I can kind of see that, and what they call dry. And actually, as I said, there's not a lot of after flavor, so I see that there. A lot of North American breweries, they do their own Oktoberfest beer, just like this brewery do. And for many craft breweries, that's the only lager they do. Most craft breweries, they do ales rather than lagers, but ones that do Oktoberfest is obviously a lager. Another interesting fact is that the true Oktoberfest in Munich, the only beers that you're allowed to serve, there's certain breweries in Munich, and it's only the beer from those breweries, the larger breweries, and they got to be brewed under what we call the purity laws, which we mentioned before, which basically it's a Bavarian law, which said the only ingredients you were able to use is water, yeast, barley, and hops. And exceptions had been made for wheat ales. So there you go. As I said, Oktoberfest, Bavarian Marzen. And if you're like me, you're probably going to say, okay, what's a Marzen? So just really quickly, a Marzen is basically a Bavarian lager. It's normally medium to full-bodied, and the color could be anywhere from pale, amber, dark brown. I'm not going to go into any much more than that. I've never had, other than the Oktoberfest, I've never had another Marzen. If I can find one, I'll probably do a little bit of research more, and we can talk about it a little bit more. So now I got to give a rating for this, and as always, I'm rating out of 5, 0 being can't drink it, can't finish it. A 1 being can't finish it, not a good beer. A 2 being, yeah, I'll finish it. A 3 being a good, a 4 being a very good, and a 5 being, this is the best beer I've ever had. The heavens open up. I've never given a beer a 5, sorry. So this one, like I said, I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. So my rating out of 5, I'm going to give this one a 4.0, and it seems like lately I've been sticking around 3.5. I don't think I've given a 4 in a little while anyways, so there you go. There's my rating for the Oktoberfest Copper Lager out of Quebec, the English translation for the brewery, the Three Musketeers. So there you go, 4.0 out of 5. Until next beer, as always, enjoy responsibly. Cheers, folks.